Hey guys, Thomas from Team Sakurasou here, coming at you guys with Little Knight being even worse than what we saw previously at this point, aka another Yu-Gi-Oh! Market Watch. We got a lot to go over today. OTS 23, Rarity Collection, how it's affecting the market, and some buyouts people aren't going over, as well as some cards that are a little too low that I need to let you guys know to pick up before it's too late. If you guys enjoy these videos and you love the idea of double upload, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. If you're buying any cards off TCG Player, please use my affiliate down in the description below. Helps out the channel to no additional cost to you. If you're looking for Yu-Gi-Oh! Merchandise like deck boxes, sleeves, keychains, hats, and more, check out my sponsor, Tapio Cards. When you use code SAKI, not only do you get 5% off of your purchase, so it saves you a bit of money, but you actually help support the channel, right, to no additional cost to you. So that's really great. Thank you to my YouTube channel members. If you guys really appreciate what I do here and you want to give back to the channel and help me, work less and spend more time on the channel, consider being a YouTube channel member. But it's only if you have the spare income and if you feel like it. So never feel pressured about it. But thank you to those who have chosen to become YouTube channel members. I really do appreciate you guys' support. Like, you really don't understand how much I do. SP Little Knight here. Quarter centuries we got, and this is, I did put on verified. Unverified, of course, people are going to try to sell their copies, and I don't blame them. 500, 529. Yeah. And the worst part is imagine having just one quarter century and then the one regular secret. Imagine not even be able to match and you spent 600 something plus dollars. Insane. OG secrets, I mean, straight Benjamin. This is the new card that costs $100 from the extra deck. Some people are acting like, Yu-Gi-Oh's gone crazy expensive randomly. Like, this hasn't happened like almost every single year. Lately, it's been pretty good, though. I have to admit, besides your Thrust and Prosperity, I feel like a lot of the staples were affordable before Age of Overlord. Talents was 20, but they were 10s at one point. They slowly went up to a $20 card. You had droplets that were affordable. But yeah, $100 for your Benjamins. Of course. $100 for your Little Knights right here. Visa Samsara. Now, I told people, hey, this is kind of low at $6, but I never really was sure if people should get it or not. But yeah, $14 now. I guess it was too low. With the quarter centuries being 60, honestly, I think that's very fair price, not only just for the secret. I think that's what it should have been around, like, 12 to 18. Maybe not quite 20, but if it was 20, oh well. But the quarter centuries being $63 here is really not that bad. I feel like if you could get this for 40s at all, like 45, 47, 48, it's a good card to pick up, honestly. I don't know how many they play, though, so someone's going to have to let me know in the comment section below. If this is a 3 of, I feel like, hey, less than $200 and you get a high rarity set of this card, pretty good. Speaking of Vanadium over here, hopefully I said that right. We got Rhymeheart over here, about $9. I told people to pick this up at 5, 6, 2 separate times. I feel like this card is going to go up and down throughout its lifetime until the 2024 tins. This deck is really, really good. I really like it. When you get drolled, it really kills you. In fact, I honestly never really understood why the builds never ran something like Cross-Up Designator. These secrets are actually kind of low, I think. 67 listings. Yeah, not that low, actually. 58 listings, 10s right over here. I feel like playing 3 of these and just the one copy of Droll so you could banish it is good, because once the Vanadium sets up its board, I mean, they're pretty unstoppable, actually. Peaceful Planet here is about $31, 35 again. I told people I'll pick these up around 18 to 22 a lot. And then they went up to 40s, and I said, well, time was wasted. And then I went back and they were about 25s, 26s, and they're up now at $30. I said, well, if you want this, you have one more chance. I don't think it's the best time to pick them up, kind of pass. I don't think they were going to go back to 22.18. And now they kind of reach up to $40 here. Cyberstorm Access is a still really good set to open up. I think that people forgot about it since now we are with Age of Overlord, which is a very top heavy set. But Cyberstorm Access has aged pretty well. I mean, you still have the Quests here. You have this batter here. Want to check up on this guy really quick. $34. That's a lot for a disc batter, and I don't see it going down until we get the tins. Guilty Gear Free, the Magical Steel Knight CR. Now, these are, you got 27, 28, 43, 50 over here. You don't have too many listings for this card. None sold today, but the CRs have been selling slowly here. There weren't too many of these recently. The reason why is because it's two warrior monsters with different attributes, and a lot of people end on Baron, and that's already a super poly target. As well as Baron, I believe, is a wind. We're actually covering it right here, so I might as well just look. Yep, it's a wind, just making sure. So that's one warrior. The other warrior isn't going to be wind. Let's just keep it a buck here. So you're not going to be in a situation where you have to super poly two warriors and they're the same attribute often. People are looking at this as a super poly target for like the second time of its life. I actually went over this when the CR went back down to $14 because this has hit closer to the $50 mark before. And what I have to say is this is a super poly target that is going to come in and out of the format, but it's not going to be often. If you want your CRs, I still think if you want to grab these for 28s, that's fine. 50 is just too much because not that the card isn't worth 50 or it's not cool enough to be 50, but I know for a fact that this card is going to go down. Maybe it'll stabilize around 30s. Possibly. Maybe people want to have it as a $40 card, but I just see it going back down. And that's kind of why I can't advise people, not that I'm a financial advisor, mind you, to get them at 50s, 60s. You do have the ultras here, so if you're a budget player or you're like, yeah, that's not a CR I really want, they did shoot up as you see right here, and people are buying a crazy amount, 48 listings, $2 for your ultras. These were like $1 before, so these have doubled in price. You can get some cheaper ones, like there's a playset there for $3 if you just see it, look at the second page. That's like that's like 39 $3.39, and then with the shipping, that's not really that bad. I can't really do math. This card can easily go up to a $4 or $5 card, I believe, so keep an eye out on that. No reprint. I mean, maybe they'll look at King's Court eventually, but I just feel like there wasn't that much new stuff. And if whatever was relevant, they might sprinkle in a card or two. That's at least how I see King's Court. Now, Baron Ultras have now dropped to about $20. I mean, it's pretty affordable. People know with the rarity collection, you're going to get a nicer version of this. I think the Ultra original is going to hold some value, but I think that a lot of people ended up needing this even to the very end of getting the reveals for the 25th anniversary, only because, hey, there's events going along. But I always told people this is not a card you really want to hold a spare of. Like, even if you just had the one copy and you like to play a lot of decks, just transfer the copy. CRs have gone pretty much down here without photos here. 100, it does go to 125 here, but I do suspect this card going down even further because we're getting another version of this. All right, guys, I am back. Sorry for the interruptions, but he really wanted to get into the door. So we do have a surprise special guest here. If you could see at the side of my webcam, do not claw that, please. And we're just going to get further into the market watch. So, Ghost Spells. I always told people not to get the Starlight rares, mostly because I was like, well, you know, Dimension Force has this problem with like all Starlight rare boxes. This is as rare as people think. And with the 25th coming along, I was like, definitely not a good card to pick up, even though it's kind of a want of mine. And then we see the Starlight rares over here, 125, 130. I am actually curious to see how much further down this can go. I will say, however, I want to see how the quarter century looks compared to the Starlight rare, because if I like the Starlight rare more and the quarter century is roughly around the same price, maybe I'd want to get this instead. I mean, if you told me I could get this for 125 and spend like less than $400 for a set of these, even with the overprinting, I'd be like, well, I can keep my money that way. I don't know how long people are going to panic sell this for, but this is definitely a card to keep an eye out on, for sure. You got the original secret rares here for about, I mean, $6 for unlimited. I mean, if you just want an original print and you're that kind of person like me, it's not a crazy amount, like 12, 13 for your first edition. Still not that bad for OGs, especially on Flames of Destruction. That set was amazing. I feel like this is a set that does not get the credit that it should have. I feel like if Elemental Sabers especially had another wave of support, because their first wave of support for 2019 was not bad. They just need, if they could get a couple more bangers to help them out, it would have been great. Herald of Orange Light Super Stayer, $2. Not a card to sleep in. Okay, let me support your head so you don't fall over. This is definitely a card to look at because it is not in the rarity collection. It is a hand trap. This card is Edison legal. Now, there's some spice you guys might or might not see on my channel soon, explaining how to use this in Edison, and it's crazy. It's crazy how people think they're done cracking Edison and they're not. They really aren't. I learned this, but you guys will learn soon enough. $76 for your ultis. Actually, very, very decently priced. I kind of was hoping Konami didn't miss this in the 25th, but guess they did. Oh well. Anyway, OTS 23 is actually priced decently. Like, this is actually insane to me. So, we've got Kurakara here. Now, secrets, we're up to 60s. I expected Kurakara to at least stick 100 on before we got 23. Bless me. Sorry about that, guys. $100 before we got the drop. Maybe, 110, 120, because you guys know how OTS really is. 85 is very fair for this card. Like, well, we get it Friday. I think maybe it officially releases on the 25th. But I know a lot of people, their first time to open up this pack will be this upcoming Friday. Maybe, today, Thursday. You guys might even see this Friday since I'm recording Thursday. Enemy controller at 58 to 60 is fair. However, I know how Yu-Gi-Oh players are. I personally think that this could drop a lot further. I mean, look at skill drain. That's a card that was meta relevant. And players still see it as a meta relevant card. And that card is holding what? Not even $30. I feel like enemy controller could go all pretty much close to the 30-something dollar mark in the next few weeks. If you're an old school player like me and you can't wait to get your hands on a controller, I would probably just wait a while. Even if it spikes a little out, it's still gonna go back down. I'm not too worried about this. The other ulti is just missing here for some odd reason. We have emergency. That's the rescue ace card, $3. Rescue ace preventer at 3s. Pulling the rugs at 4s. I actually think that pulling the rug is going to be the super to pull in this set. Dynamorphic Interact is going to be the next 10-cent stuff. Labyrinth, Coup Clock here. I think this can at least hold $1. I'm hoping it at least can. Stovey Torby is about $2 here. Supreme King, $1 here. I'm going to take this away from you so you can't play with it. Actually, I'm going to put it on top of you. Boop. Anyway, Watt Chimera is about $1. That's a cool little common to have. Triumph Launchers, super rare. Secret was like $3, $4, so I don't understand. I really, really don't. Then we're going to go on the last page here and look at what Ulti Labyrinth is, because nobody's bought one, I assume, yet. Okay. Big Welcome, are you here? Okay, I guess we'll just search Big Welcome. Since it wants to be difficult. Okay. $18 for your Ultra, which is going to go further down. $60 for your Ulti is all. Now, first of all, I will say, Big Welcome Ulti does not look that good. This is definitely a card I feel like would be cooler if they used Ulti foiling from 5Ds or Zexal. At thinking kind of about it, I do feel like Zexal would look good on this card as an ulti. Nobody would complain. However, the older foiling from, the 5Ds era and before would probably be the best fit for Big Welcome Labyrinth, in my opinion. Either way, the OTS foiling is probably the worst. $60 here. Yeah, I kind of have to keep an eye out on this card because I really need to see how people really like it in like 2 weeks, kind of, to tell you guys if this is too high or too low. But if you do not know how this looks and you want this card, don't pull the trigger on this card yet. Watt Castle here. I learned this. Shout out to my boy Soranora, letting me know about this card literally while I was about to record the Market Watch here. Watt Castle. If a monster attacks a Watt monster, it loses 1,000 attack after damage calc, right? It's a weird field spell, but it's at least a permanent drop. These are like closer to $4 here for your sets, but hey, you got 15 copies here for $2. Star Shark Blast rare. This could easily go up to a couple bucks. Then we have Evil Storm Exciton Knight. Now, this is like Zeus's cousin because It does what Zeus does, and it's been around for like 10 years, but was banned at one point, so it was that broken. Once per turn during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, if your opponent has more tool cards in their hand and side of the field than you do, you detach a material from this card. Not even two. They always wanted you to detach two for stronger effects during Zexal era. And so it's always wild to me how this card never had two. And if this card said detach two, I'm not sure if I'd be covering it today or as often as I did, because you actually overlay into Zeus right after this, because detach one material, so I have two material when you overlay into Zeus. You destroy all other cards on the field, but your opponent doesn't take any further damage this turn, and it is a quick effect, which is good. And it could start its own chain, and that is something I do really like about this card. Right now, they're about 18 going up to $26, 21 listings. Guys, any Zexal era becomes relevant. Besides, we didn't have this card when we had Dragon Rulers. So yeah, but like later on Zexal, this card is going to come up. So I would grab your copies while you can. I could see this going to a $35-$40 card. My team, I think, has 2 copies of this because I always kept my copy. I actually had in my old school Madolce. And then I decided when these were like very cheap, like $8-9, I'll get a second copy because Jason was coming back at the time. We want him to have his copy. Jake wanted to have a copy too. So I was like, you know what? I'm probably not going to use my copy. We don't need to get a set of this card. We could make do with 2, and we did. Nova Summoner here, still low on listings here. A card that I was actually hoping to see at the YCS because I have not seen this card. It's not as rare as, say, DD Assailant. A card that I was actually able to see finally, which, if you guys don't know, I posted on my Instagram, as well as some big cards. So go check that out. $78, going up to about $100 here. A lot of money. However, Nova Summoner isn't really cheap. You got your Dark Legend ones, which are kind of rare. And then you got your commons here. Gold Series 3 is extinct. And I mean extinct here. $1 going up to $6. Look, I'll be honest. I know there's 258 here, but if you want Nova Summoner, I would get this older common. I think it looks very cool. I don't know. Gold Series commons have this distinct feel. These are worth a little money, 25 listings. You got your Wave of Light ones at about $1 something. In fact, your Christias are also worth something here. $2. This is a very popular card for Edison as well. Supers are $2, very cheap. I would actually pick up these super rares at $2 to $3. The unlimiteds are about 120, I believe. 90 going up to 140. You know what? Feel like 90 is not that bad for this card. That is not that bad. First sets, I want to say, are 400 to 500. Yeah, 500. Big oof. Despian Lulu Wealth. Now, Branded kind of fell off, and I understand that. It's still a good deck that has a lot of cool things that you can use with it, but I will say the Starlight Rare at about 150 was not bad, and now these are about $90. So if you always want one of these, $90 what you're paying. Ulti Big Eye here is about $70. If you have not liked the video yet, by the way, make sure to smash that like button. 71. Remember when this card went up to $200 because of cash, and they didn't. Some played it, some didn't. I know the going second build wants this card more now, but it is cash going second, mind you, and they do have a little extra room because you don't have to run the Arise card anymore. Well, you do have to run it. Konami just won't allow you. That's what I should say. $74 for your copies here. It's a very good card again. I feel like if we get Dragon Ruler format to pop off, this is the card that's going to hit 200 again. Easily. And speaking of cash, I want to look at what Fenrir is today because we saw that approaching 45. Yeah, they're still stagnant. 18 listings. That's kind of scary, actually. Yeah, might want to get this card while you can. And then Kami Wizard here. $26, $30 for your common. No, thank you. With that being said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the Mark Watch and the double upload. Let me know what cards I'm going over in the next Mark Watch in the comment section below. If you're buying anything on TCG, please use my link down in the description below. Helps out the channel to no additional cost to you. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.